Welcome to my first Let's Play, which will be the old game Terracon, released for the PlayStation 1 after the PlayStation 2 came out, and because it was released in Europe, it never really sold well. Only in Europe. Who would do that? I don't know. Europe is probably the smallest market, but they chose to do that anyway. Nevertheless, it's an excellent game, so I will be starting right now, and it just gets you straight into a game without any other loading screens or cutscenes. Of course, they will be those later. That's kind of to be expected for a PlayStation 1 game. They didn't have the technology to do continuous no loading. And you fly around a nice planet, and you may have noticed it is called Venus. Why does Venus look like Earth? Because it's been terraformed. Yes, your species terraformed all the planets in the solar system, and now someone wants to blow them up, so it's your goal to save them. That's about all the storyline that really matters, because the rest of the game is an excuse plot. But it's the gameplay that matters. You get a nice loading cutscene of your alien guy being drawn with a little sparkly thing. Yes, that's who you play as. Classical, alien, massive head, big black eyes, and a ray gun that shoots at the start red bullets, but eventually yellow and blue bullets. All the levels start off with a nice flyover, but this level is pretty short, so there's not anything interesting in it. So I can just skip it. Retrieve launch code cartridge. This is the goal of every level. In some, find 1, some find 2, and in a few, you have to find 3. And in each world, starting with Venus, there are 9 cartridges in total to collect. And once you have all of those, you launch nukes at a giant spaceship, and the spaceship blows up a little bit. You may have noticed, I can't fire very much right now. So how do I get more fire? These red glowing things give me more ammo, or rather more energy. My gun can fire faster. So you want to collect all of these. We have a second use which will come into importance later. And that's the most simple enemy in the game. If you touch it, it will deal damage. So it's not really very much of a threat. And you got a secret for saving this guy. And who does that look like? A caveman. Yes, these aliens invented cavemen. Or maybe the cavemen evolved on these planets. I don't know. It's never explained. You can shoot those planets, and then they are flat, and your legs are see-through. Shoot more robots. That green stuff I just collected is life, but since my life is full, it goes into the bar on the right, and once that DNA-like bar is full, I get an extra life. So, lives, you really don't need them, you don't die very often, unless you constantly mess up on one place. That doesn't usually happen. Most of the challenge in the game eventually comes from the timed levels, which are really annoying, but those only appear later. I've got the planetary defense launch code now, so I could just complete the level now quite easily. I'm going to go and find every little secret on this rock. Blow up a lot more stuff. That's what we like. Big explosions. These are just the smallest explosion. The game is about explosions and blowing stuff up, which, honestly, games need more these days. Doesn't need a plot, doesn't need realism, just needs blowing stuff up. More green stuff that I don't need. These come into much importance later. They're just called tops. They spin around you. Maybe like a spinning top, but they don't actually spin on a point. This is rather useless, it's just a little radar in the top left. But you can eventually get ones that allow you to charge up your shots, fire shots faster, and also an additional feature, or downside, is that if you are shot, they sometimes block the shot, and instead of you taking damage, they explode, which means you lose it. Only useful if you're close to death, otherwise it's just annoying, because you lose something that is actually going to help you later on. Now there is a very hard to get secret on this level, which involves aiming, which is horrible. It isn't there right now. Okay. I think I might have to look at it from a... Ooh, a shark. It's gone. Not going to be able to get it. Oh no, I got flies chasing me. Flies. Okay, that might come back later. Oops, fell into the water. Okay, now one of the cutscenes in the game. That is a beacon, and what's happening is having its energy stolen from it and turned back into a wire frame. Yes, this is the gimmick of the whole game. You can shoot any object, that is a wire frame, and it will come back to normal. This is a beacon, which causes the dropship to fly in and take me out the level. There's still other stuff to do first, including kill that guy who stole the energy. So I better go and do that. These ones are not much of a threat. They don't shoot you. You just get hurt if you move into them. So this level is not much harder than the tutorial. The tutorial you cannot die on. Okay, let's see if I can view this secret now. After I get this. No. Okay, what happens is a lion runs around chasing a person, and you shoot the lion, and you get a secret for saving the person. Doesn't make much sense, but things like that just count as secrets in the game. And this is pretty much most of the... Ooh, glowy thing. Must collect glowy thing. It glows. Interestingly, for a PlayStation 1 game, this has a lot of lighting effects. Probably to be expected, considering it came out after the PlayStation 2. They had to really push for graphics in order to sell anything. So it's one of the better looking PlayStation 1 games. The flickering is still happening on this as well. And the music is completely gone. The emulator, which is obviously running the disc which I own, I've had this game since my childhood, isn't able to run this very well. So now you return to the satellite, which acts as the mission hub. After another loading cutscreen. The loading cutscreens look nice for a while, but then they get tedious. To be honest, they're still quite a bit better than most loading games. Cutscene time. Oh no, he lost someone important.
Tak, Atika maji pachikela.
Ioa zed, Ioa. Aka edu, kamana yindat badagada badaha. Inzada yinda bodo, yidida boda, zimzudu dida boda.
Zanigopata, Atika maji ba, jigava.
And if you're wondering what they are saying there, they are speaking in a made-up language that was put into the game called Plutonian. They also actually have a language option to change the subtitles to it as well, although I don't think anybody would want to use that. And now you get energy, which goes into the bar on the right. The only real use for this is to buy more tops, but usually you don't need to buy them because you can pick up anything you need on the level anyway, and they just get destroyed before the end, wasting any energy you got. Here is the list of launch code cartridges you got, and options, which I do not need to change. Yes, Maxwell's Crest, level 1. 5 levels on Venus, and you got to get all the cartridges from them. And lastly, save. May as well save over the completely uncompleted slot, slot A. Saved. And the last feature is to view cutscenes, although I doubt I'll be using that at all. Okay, back to the planet. The second level is the first real level, I guess you could call it. It's more enemies that can actually hurt you, as opposed to you just having to run backwards while shooting at them. And more loading. Once the loading screens has actually gone through, some of the later levels can take about an hour to complete, but early on they are pretty tedious. At least they don't take too long. The PlayStation 3 always had really long loading times. Maybe that's because it uses Blu-ray. I don't know. If someone can give me info on that, that would be nice. More flickering. Don't want to see this. Flickering is horrible. More flicker! Flicker's yellow, and sometimes flicker's invisible. Close that. I know what I'm doing. I have to go make a bridge. These are oil rigs by the looks of it, I guess. Alien oil rigs. And they contain energy instead of oil. Maybe the energy is oil, I don't know. Anyway, some things later in the game require you to have a certain amount of red energy so that you can fire at it fast enough to break it open, because they'll regenerate health. Which means, obviously, energy is probably your most important resource.